the Sun Belt Championship game, Marshall at Louisiana, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. Obviously, no playoff implications in this game either. They're not none of these two schools are ranked. This game will not affect anything in terms of the playoff, but Louisiana is looking for its third Sun Belt title in the last 5 years. Marshall searching for its first Sun Belt championship ever and their first conference title since 2014, and these two schools did not square off in the regular season. So, Dalton, you have the Louisiana offense in this game. What should we look out for the Raging Cajuns of the ball?
Okay, so this is another case where a starting quarterback got hurt very late in the season. Ben Woldridge for Louisiana was having a great year, and he suffered, I believe it was a collarbone injury, and now they've got Chandler Fields, their backup, going into this game starting at quarterback. And honestly, you could do a lot worse than Chandler Fields as your backup, right, who's got a lot of experience. Last year, Louisiana played 3 different quarterbacks, Chandler Fields, Ben Woldridge, and Zion Chris, who was now starting late in the year at Houston. So, and they were rotating between all 3 guys and injuries, and they found a way to get through the season anyway, had a pretty good year. But Fields has already made 14 starts for them over the last 3 years, 76 passing grade in those starts. He's not a bad quarterback. He's been there. He's his 6th year in this program. He's been around a long time. He is loyal as loyal can be, and he's done a nice job when he's gone in there. Now, 2 parts of Marshall's pass defense I want to bring up. One, let's go with the secondary first. This team ranks 3rd in the FBS behind Texas and Notre Dame in coverage grade.
Wow.
At 3rd in the country, 92.2. You're talking about some really good players. J.J. Roberts at safety has 11 pass breakups. Jacoby Henderson at corner has 10 pass breakups. This team, they're full of ball hawks, okay? And that's what makes that coverage grade so high, and that's what makes them so difficult. They get in single high. They're aggressive in defense. They get after the football. The 9th highest forced incompletion rate in the country. They get after the football. They want to get their hands on it. They want to pick passes off. They want to get pass breakups, all that fun stuff. They're an aggressive secondary. The second part I have to talk about, of course, is off the edge, because if those guys are blanketing all your receivers, okay, you got a monster off the edge to worry about in Mike Green, okay? 90.4 pass rush grade, 21.1% pass rush win rate, 60 pressures and 16 sacks, both lead the nation. The nation's leading pressure artist, sack artist, all of that stuff. And he's a guy who, I know you mentioned Connor Rogers was talking about. He is flying up draft boards right now because he's got 2 dominant seasons in a row at Marshall. So you've got 2 problems with this pass defense: an elite pass rusher off of the edge and a great secondary that gets their hands on the football. So Fields, look, he's played well in the past. Okay, the other big thing for me with that secondary and just needing time in the pocket, this season he's completed 7 of his 10 deep balls, okay, with 6 big-time throws. This is one of the best teams in the country defending the deep ball because of all of those pieces. They only allow 31.8% of deep balls to be completed and rank 3rd in the nation in deep coverage grade. They don't give up big plays. They get their hands on the football, and Mike Green absolutely tees off on your offensive line. There are a lot of problems for Chandler Fields to deal with. We've got a dynamic here where this is arguably the best offense in the Sun Belt with Louisiana against the best defense in Marshall. Going to be a really good matchup on this side of the ball.
Yeah, Connor Rogers has Mike Green as a first-round prospect in the NFL draft right now.
That's incredible.
Isn't that insane? A first-round edge defender from Marshall. That's awesome. And I think he will be probably at least a day 2 pick in the NFL draft.
He is a nightmare, though, man.
Yeah.
If they don't protect, if they don't chip, if they don't give Fields time in the pocket, it's going to be because Mike Green teed off on him. It's a problem. He needs to get the ball out on time.
So my matchup to watch on the other side of the ball when Marshall has the football is, can Louisiana contain what is a dangerous backfield for Marshall? So Marshall, their offense has had its fair share of issues this year. They're outside the top 50 in passing grade, receiving grade, pass blocking grade, and run blocking grade. The only one where they're in the top 50 is rushing grade right now. The Thundering Herd have a kind of a committee backfield. A.J. Turner and Jordan Houston lead the way in that. A.J. Turner in particular is 3rd among all running backs in the nation with 8.3 yards per carry. And their quarterback, Braylon Braxton, is also very effective on the ground. He's currently 17th among all quarterbacks in the nation with 402 yards after contact. Louisiana has had difficulty defending the run this year. They've allowed 5.3 yards per attempt, which is 98th in the country. They're 93rd in explosive run rate allowed. But they have done a pretty good job of defending the quarterback run this year. Only one quarterback has had 50 or more rushing yards on Louisiana this year. So I think Louisiana probably should stack the box in this game and force Marshall to beat them with what's been a well below average passing game this year, honestly. And the Marshall offensive line hasn't really played all that well either. Like I said before, they're 96th in pass, and they're 55th in pass blocking grade and 80th in run blocking grade. So it's kind of been a below average offensive line as well. So if you can force, if Louisiana can force Marshall to throw the football, with Braylon Braxton not really being an effective passer, and also the receiving grade Dalton is one of the 10 worst in the country, then I think that Louisiana has a great chance of really shutting down this Marshall offense. But you got to contain the dangerous backfield of A.J. Turner, of Jordan Houston, and of Braylon Braxton in that run game.
Yeah, Marshall's definitely a team that's built on their defense. It's the best defense in the conference, and they would like to win lower scoring games. They had to win 35-33 last week in double overtime over James Madison, who also has a great defense. But that's really where they want to live. They want to play defense. They want to run the football, and they want to just not ask Braylon Braxton to drop back and throw the ball too much, like you mentioned. They're kind of one-dimensional on offense, and they rely on their defense. If they get in tweener situations, they're going to punt the ball and rely on their secondary, rely on Green to make big plays against the opponent's passing game. So you got two different styles here, I think, and Marshall's defense is really going to have to carry a heavy load in this game.
Absolutely. So ultimately, Dawn, who will win the Sun Belt Championship between Louisiana and Marshall?
This has a similar feel to me as the Miami and Ohio game. I just think Louisiana's the best team in the conference. We came into the year thinking they're the best team in the conference. They went 10-2. They lost to Tulane by 1 score, and they lost to South Alabama by 2 points in the game where Woldridge got hurt. So, you had Chandler Fields coming in the middle of the game. South Alabama's a pretty good team. You want to be fully loaded when you're playing rivals like that. It's those 2 losses were tough, but that's their only 2 losses, and I just like the way they've played football for the most part this year. Again, darn near, they took Tulane to the wire, and we know Tulane was ranked at one point this year, and they're really good. They're playing this weekend as well. So I've got Louisiana 34-27. I do think there is a chance that Marshall's defense could make this a lower scoring game if they can bother Fields and cover really well and get those pass breakups, and Mike Green can take the game over. They've got a shot, but I think Louisiana's got too much firepower offensively.
Yeah, I agree with that. I got Louisiana winning this one as well, 30-28. Even with Ben Woldridge, you like you mentioned, has been one of the highest graded quarterbacks in the entire country this year. But even with him out, Chandler Fields is one of the better backups that we have. You
could do much worse than he's got experience, and he can throw the ball. I mean, it's not a bad guy to have back there, and he played a lot last year as well.
And it's a home game for Louisiana as well, which could play a part. I think Louisiana will win their 3rd Sun Belt championship over the last 5 years and beat Marshall in a very close game, but still Louisiana comes out on top in that one. Hey, thanks for watching another episode of the PFF College Football Show. Please make sure you guys subscribe to the channel.
Also, subscribe to PFF Plus at subscribe.pff.com for all of the same data and grades that we use in our show, plus fantasy tools, betting tools, and our mock draft simulator.